Hi, this is Rachelle at Scrapcraftastic, and today I'm going to do a little testing with this Fellows laminator. I did an unboxing of this laminator that I found online during the shutdown while I was out of town without my supplies, and I needed something inexpensive that I could use while I was there. And I found this one. They have a version that's $9 and I think $9.99 or some change, and then there's a version that's 11 something, and the difference is the one with that's 11 something comes with the feeder sheet, or the, what is it called, the carrier sheet. So the more expensive one comes with the carrier sheet. I will link to them in the description box below. And they also come with 50 sheets of 3mm laminate. So I have 2 of those here. And when I posted the video of the unboxing, I had a question about had I tried using it to do any foiling, and I hadn't at the time. So we're going to experiment with that, as well as making our own acetate. This laminator can handle 3, 4, and 5mm laminate pouches. So these are 3, and what I was thinking is just to put 2 together to make myself a little sturdier laminate. So I wanted to play around with making my own acetate. I'm not doing anything decorative. The reason I want this is because I'm working on a journal. This is a printable from, I think this was Artie Mays, and then this one is from Antique Papery, and I'll link to both of them below. I'm doing a mermaid journal, but my pages are going to be this size, and I printed these this size, but I need to trim them down. So I want to be able to see through what I'm using to see where I'm trimming, if I'm trimming it the way I want it to look. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So we'll do the faux acetate first. So you just need 2 sheets. I think you can do this 2 ways. I could either just go ahead and tuck one into the other and run them through, or I could just do one and turn it into a piece of thin acetate and then laminate the thin acetate. I think that would be better. And even though this is 3mm, this is 3mm, that's 6mm, and this goes up to 5mm, I think it would be the same thing as laminating a piece of cardstock or paper, because this is really thin. So let's try it this way. I'm just going to go ahead and feed this through and seal this first. And this is good and hot. I've let it heat up for quite some time. So hopefully we won't get any bubbles or anything like that. Oh, I see issues. Again, I don't know if that's because there's nothing in the laminate that causes that. We're going to try it the other way too. Yeah, it's really bubbling, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna, no, I'm not going to. You see all the bubbling? For what I need it for, it doesn't matter, but if you were wanting to use this as acetate, that matters. See, this is not good. And again, I'm thinking that does that because there's nothing in the pouch. I'm going to try it several ways, and I'm going to try it with a carrier sheet as well after I do it this way. So now I'm just going to laminate this. Just get it in there as straight as possible, and I'm just going to run it through. Try to make sure it's lined up properly. That helps too. So this will work for what I need to use it for, but again, I don't know if you can see that. Let's put a piece of paper underneath. I don't know if that's showing up, but there is. Let's try another piece. Can you see those? Those wrinkly things happened when I ran the initial sheet through. So now let's try doing 2 at a time instead of doing one and then another one on top. and maybe 5 mil would work better for this. I don't know. It could be these pouches. It could be a lot of things causing that. But we can experiment and try out various ways. This is very staticky. It's like sticking to itself. I'm trying not to touch the inside of the laminate pouch, but it's kind of almost impossible to get that one in there without touching. Let's see if I can scoop that up a little bit more. Let's try this. I think I got it in there as best as I could. That was a struggle. Okay. Now I don't know if I should use the carrier sheet. The carrier that came with this, I think I left it. So I don't have it. It's not in the box. So I'm just going to put a piece of regular paper on top and bottom, even though it's slightly smaller than the pouch. I'm just going to try it and see if that helps as well. I mean, I could do it without the carrier, but let's just see. Let's feed that in. And I think the carrier helps keep the laminate smooth when it's going over the rollers on the inside, and I think it's the rollers on the inside that cause that effect that we saw on the other one, because it's like, you know, intermittent. So I don't know. So this came out pretty smooth, but it's cloudy, so I don't know. I don't know. Let's see, you can see the cloudiness. Let's try it this way one more time with sealing the pouch first and then laminating it with the carrier sheets on the laminate. So we got one sheet, and then we'll do it with the other sheet after that. Generally, when I'm laminating, unless there's some specific reason why, I will use 5 mil laminate. It seems like I don't have all of these issues when I use 5 mil. So, and I wonder if I turn this up to 5 mil, would that make a difference even with the 3 mil? I think the carrier, even though the instructions said it does not require a carrier, I think having a carrier is advisable. Okay. Yeah, see, that's much better. Nice and clear. So running it through naked is not good if you're just sealing the laminate. Let's go ahead and add, and I may have to order myself another carrier from mybinding.com, which is where I got this laminate from. I mean, this laminator from. Let's see. So carrier pages, yes. This looks like it's probably going to end up being cloudy, but we'll see. And probably the heavier the carrier page, the better, because it will keep the laminate as straight as possible while it's going through. the carrier sheet that came with this was a thin, like maybe a little thinner than poster board maybe. And I do have some poster board. Maybe I could cut that up and make my own carrier. Oh, this is coming out much better. I can tell already. Okay, so what we've learned, you need a carrier. I know I keep saying that, but you need a carrier sheet if you're trying to make your own acetate. So either way you do it, I think laminating one sheet with a carrier, then adding another sheet over it with a carrier will give you better results. This is a little cloudy, but other than that, I think that that is probably the nature of this laminate. I have to wonder if the Scotch laminate would do the same thing. And we can try it because I need several of these anyway. So these are equally cloudy, so it didn't make a difference how I did it. These are equally cloudy. That's not great. So let's try. Now this is all stuff that really is not really what the laminator is meant to do. It's just something that I decided to give a try one day, a year or two ago, and it worked, and I made my own acetate. I put glitter in it and in the pouch and a bunch of other things. So I wanted the laminator to do more than just laminate paper. So I believe that's a 3mm Scotch. This is a 5mm Scotch. Let me get another 3mm. Okay, so this is 5mm. We're gonna put that aside. This is 3mm, but that's not Scotch. This is the Walmart brand. So we're not even gonna try that. So 2 3mm Scotch brand. We're gonna do one at a time and see what happens. So carrier sheet. And as you saw in my unboxing video, this laminator works perfectly fine for regular, typical, everyday use. I'm just stretching the possibilities. So it's a much nicer look. It's less, I think it's less ripples than the laminate that came with this. Let's go ahead and put this in this pouch and laminate it. And this time I'm going to put it on the 5. And I'm going to wait and let it warm up to 5 and see what happens. Even though we're using 3mm laminate, we are making it a little thicker by doubling up. So let's see what happens. So I'll be back when it finishes warming up. Okay, so it's warmed up. Let's go ahead and give this a shot with carrier sheets. It already seems a little thicker to me. And I don't know what it is, but I don't think all 3mm laminate is made equal. So, yeah. Okay, let's see what we got. It's still cloudy. So I think maybe it's a reaction of the laminate and the laminate that causes the cloudiness. It didn't make a difference on the brand of laminate. Let's grab the other ones that we did. Probably the best thing to do is just to use 5mm laminate instead of trying to use 2 3mm pouches. Just use the 5mm. This is sturdier than these two though, and it is less cloudy. Let's see. So it's less cloudy That one's a little more cloudy and wrinkly. That one's a little more cloudy and wrinkly. So Scotch brand is better. I don't know what brand this laminate is that came with the machine. I would imagine it's not the best quality to begin with. Let's run it again one more time and see if that helps eliminate any of the cloudiness. I doubt that it will, but we can test it and see. And while that's going through, I'm going to get my foil. No, I'm going to use the matte gold. So let's see what we got. Yeah, it's still cloudy. It seems like it might be a little better, but the cloudiness is still there. And I'm really inclined to think that it's because of using 2 pouches. Because if you look right here on the edge, it's not as cloudy. So, okay. But I can still use those. They work fine for what I need them for. So this is from my shop. It is a kit or set of words that can be used for journals, planner, embellishments, anything you want. I'd already printed some on vellum. That was with the inkjet. I printed this page with the my laser printer. Then this is part of the kit, as well as this with natural color, and then you have black. And there's versions like this where the whole background is white without the gray. I included the gray boxes around them to make it easy if you're cutting them out manually. And then I also have the full page without any lines in between. So if you want to tear them, or if you want to use your digital cutter to cut them, you can. And it's the whole set of neutrals in the shop. So I'm just working with this one sheet, and we're going to test this out for foiling. So I'm just going to trim off some foil to cover this. So I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit and use the vellum as my guide. I wish I had my bigger scissors. Let's try these. These may not work because they have glue stuck on them. Oh, it's better. Okay. It's better to do that with a blade, but I don't want to cut my background, so let's put this away. Again, this only will work on a laser or a printer that uses toner, preferably black toner from what I understand. And let's just line this up. I don't think we have to worry about the overhang. I've tested that before and it didn't cause a problem, so I'm not going to trim it off. But I am going to put this in between 2 carrier sheets. So you put the carrier sheet, the page that you are wanting to foil, the foil on top of that page with the shiny side up, and then carrier sheet on top. So that's how you build the sandwich that goes into the laminator. And here we go. Okay, so I think we're done with this. Let's go ahead. I always think I have to hit right there. That is not the power. The power button is on the back here. So let's turn that off. And this is the most satisfying part. It worked great. Look at that. So it works perfect for foiling. Look at that. Can you see the shimmer of the foil? Okay, so yes, it does foil great. And you see, I have a little envelope that I keep my extra foil in, because all of these spaces in between can be used. This extra piece at the end here can be used. So if I have smaller foiling projects, this works great. So now I'm going to take one of these sheets and show you what I was wanting to do to use it as a guide. So again, I need to trim this down to this size, but I want to position certain elements in a certain way, and I don't want to get too close to anything or cut anything off that I want. And trying to use this as a guide could work, but I'm leaving myself open to make a mistake. So I am going to trim the laminate down to the same size as this page, or this faux acetate. I'm going to trim it down to the same size as this, and then I can use the faux acetate as a template or guide for trimming up my other papers. So it's best to do this with some type of permanent marker. I'm not sure that this one is, but I'm just going to put a little tick mark on all four corners to kind of show me where to trim my template. And I could put this all the way to the edge, but I just wanted cleaner edges than what the laminate is, and I didn't put the pouch in there exactly straight, so it's not exactly straight. So I'm just going to take my old paper trimmer here, try not to lose my marks, and trim it down. I'm just going to line up my little tick marks and cut. And I'm not going to cut all the way through each end, because I want my tick marks to still be there to finish cutting around. So again, just line up the tick marks. Don't cut all the way through the end. Okay, so there's our leftover piece, and here is our template. Okay, so let's check and make sure that it's the right size. It is. So now when I want to trim down my extra pages, I can just lay this on here and see what I am cutting out. Take my pencil, mark the corners, and trim it down accordingly, and adjust it just the way that I want it. So that's just a little trick. It's not my original idea. I saw someone else doing it with just a regular piece of acetate, but I would rather not cut up any acetate that I have, and I thought making the template with a piece of laminate was a better idea. So that's it for playing with the laminator. So since the response was so great about this laminator and there was a lot of interest in it, I decided to order another one, which I did, and I have received it. It's a little big to put up here, but here it is. And this is another giveaway on the channel, so I'm going to be giving this away. To enter the giveaway, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, make sure you like this video, and in the comments below let me know how you would use the laminator if you were to win it. I'll put all the information as far as the rules in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that little gray bell so that you'll receive notification each time I upload a new video. Be sure to check the community tab and my stories for updates throughout the week. Also, check us out over at patreon.com/Scrapcraftastic for exclusive content and digital downloads. Visit my other channel, Journal Life's Journey, for live craft videos, junk journals, and weekly vlogs. You can find me across social media at Scrapcraftastic. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!